All right, next we're gonna be going over oiling and cleaning your shears. If you oil and clean your shears properly, the sharpening is going to last longer. You're gonna have less grit and grind whenever you are cutting hair throughout the day. And also, it's just gonna make your job easier when you go have a clean, oiled shear. Now, first off, you need to make sure that you have a shear oil that is loose enough to get into the pivot of the scissor. We love our Shearcraft oil because the viscosity of this is loose enough that it can get into all of the small little innard parts of the hardware and the pivot of the scissor. So as you can see what I just did, I put oil on each part of the pivot, which this is going to be called the pivot of the shear because it pivots. On the other side, throw in a couple of more drops of oil on each side, just like so. Next step is to make sure that that oil is within that pivot. So we're going to move it around like so. Make sure you get all that oil nice and fitted into that hardware of the scissor. Now, next step is the most important step. You're going to palm that shear, hold it tight, just like that, and you're going to shake it out. And when you're shaking this scissor, you're actually flushing out all of the debris and the hair and the goo that has been built up over the day in that pivot. And as you can see, this is a fresh scissor. All of that oil has flushed out onto that blade. And if it was a dirty scissor, you would see a lot of that hair, goo, and all of that buildup taking out of that pivot. And then as far as the last step, you just want to make sure that you go on the back side of that blade so you protect your fingers from that sharp edge and wipe off that excess oil. Once that oil is wiped off, you are ready and set up for the next day. Shearcraft and SCP always recommends that you oil your shears at the end of every day of cutting.